Hello there YouTube, this is Sibbles and Bits, back at it again with another Inkbound Daily. Today is the solo daily from October 30th, and today we will be playing Godkeeper, going from Proving Grounds into Silent Promenade and then up against Argoloth. Now, this is the first time that we've seen Godkeeper like in dailies, and it's the first time that I've seen this version of Godkeeper. I did quite a bit of testing on Godkeeper in the what am I trying to say? The beta branch, but after I was done with them, they were changed significantly. But when I was working with them, they were like, I believe I figured it out to be like top 3 damage per turn. Now, I'm sure that the -1 Will Reserve is going to make a difference for that, but otherwise, should have a relatively good time, especially with Master Alchemist. Us being able to get actual damage scaling throughout the game is kind of nice. We'll see exactly how that works out, but the thing about Godkeeper is that they have a very high damage per turn, but it's hard to emphasize due to their conditional nature, because in certain areas they deal double damage, and that's where all of their damage per turn comes from. The problem is that in order to get that on a single target, you have to use a lot of movement, which most other classes, like maybe Weaver, I would say, requires movement in order to actually get your full damage per turn. But Weaver has some ridiculous numbers, and still has probably the best augments in the game. For some reason, Weaver supremacy. We're going to go ahead and we're going to see how this goes. Again, going to kind of be learning how this version works, but at least over a general idea, I understand how the class works. What was that? Every 6 times you use a binding and blight gain 6 omni damage. That is terrible. This used to be 1 ability power, so they nerfed Marker of the Unbound. I guess there's not a cap. Anyways, so we'll explain Godkeeper when we get into our first fight here. Mercurial's always nice. I am unable to remove the spear I already have. That probably shouldn't be there. Oh, I guess I haven't completed the quest, because I'm still at Mythos 4 here. But, alright, let's take a look here. So, Godkeeper does have some natural, crit synergy, in kit. There's sort of if Moss Cloak is supposed to be the poison crit, Godkeeper is kind of like the bleed crit. There's some smite sprinkled in there. I'm not really a fan of it, but it's what we're stuck with. I think it might just honestly be Ink Needle Compass. Moss Spyglass is going to be more noticeable though. The reason why I'm looking at Ink Needle Compass is that it's more likely that I'm going to want to liquidate that. But maybe we just take Moss Spyglass and we keep it for that reason. Otherwise, we could re-roll this, try and get a better common for damage. But I guess Powder Monkey Stockpile, that removes movement though, so I actually don't want that one. Getting some free bleed out there might be cute. Training weights. There's a couple of things that we might want. Future Willer is even fine. Most of this stuff is kind of meh, though. It's mostly you would want it for a specific set. And I'm not actually sure which kind of set that we would want here. Especially when the seed is already put in place and there's not really much... we got a lot of money. We could probably will a set into existence, but let's just go ahead and go with the flow there. That scattered samples was actually probably like a pretty good idea too. Alright, Deadly Whirlwind plus 20 damage. This normally does 60. So then that'd bring that up to 80. 6% crit chance. Kinda nice. Escalating Impale, it's way too early for me to want to put crit damage, and also plus 10% crit damage per enemy hit on that. Unless they change the AoE, it's not spectacular. I think that that's a terrible augment, personally. Teleporting to the spear, gain 2 shield. That is notable considering the fact that, you know, we do get scored according to how much damage we take. I think we're honestly just going to take Deadly Whirlwind here and see how that goes. Alright. Again, I think we're just going to take 2 Tarnish Vaults just to try and get us into a set here. I suppose we actually start with the Alchemist set. So on combat end, we got another 50% chance to gain a potion on top of... Oh, this no longer gives us a guaranteed potion. I am a fool. Scattered samples would have been great because then we could grind it for that. Alright. I guess I forgot that they nerfed that, or whatever you want to call it. I should probably keep this for a different turn, but I do want to make sure that we get turn 1. Now, the way that Godkeeper works is that, again, they have a bunch of conditional. First enemy hit by their 1 will take double damage, and anybody inside this outer circle will take double damage. So we kind of want to set that up. Celestial Spear. When we throw this, it deals 40 damage. When we travel to it, it will, I believe, smite the nearest enemy. I don't want to hit this gentleman here yet. I kind of want them marked. So let's go ahead and toss that out there. And so they have a specific multiplier called Velocity. Deal plus 50% damage based on your next attack binding. And we get it whenever we use a movement binding, which Celestial Spear, despite not technically moving us... Oh, I guess they changed that, so that it doesn't do that. I was told that was intentional, that this used to actually give us this. But I suppose it's clicking on this will give us 1 velocity. Alright. Not really sure how to feel about that. It's also not saying here, but I believe this is supposed to also gain plus 1 velocity every single time that it's on the floor. But it doesn't state that anywhere. In a situation where we're not playing for points, we might test that out. Alright. So let's take a look at our sets we got going on right now. Inkflat doesn't seem bad. Our cooldowns are relatively low, but being able to use Celestial Spear every turn seems like it's good for us. Just gaining some free movement seems pretty good on this class. I think I'm willing to go for Inkflat. It worked pretty well for us last time to have Expert Binder 3, but I'm not sure that that's really what we're looking for. Let's take a look at what we got over here. We got Dun's Head. That seems like something that we definitely want. So, we're definitely going to take Dun's Head. Gives us Precision 2, and Dun's Head actually gives us some crit. So now we've got 26% crit chance, which is pretty good. An additional 6% crit chance there. We're starting to get there. Blink seems pretty good. Invig seems pretty good. Invig into Velocity means that we're dealing triple damage. Blink gives us just a stack of Velocity every single turn whenever we want to use it. And helps position us. I think I can go with Blink. Like, adding 50% damage to something that we want to use it on seems like a good idea. Now, what did we want to do over here? I have no freaking clue. I think this is a reroll now that we have a couple of sets going on over to the right. Okay, these are interesting. Ancient Wisdom seems like a good idea. Here's another Scattered Samples, which would have given us Alchemist for every... So we get a potion every turn. Every time we use our potion, we would have had a total of 2 will. It's pretty good. I also kind of like Victor's Chits. Velocity gives us 25 critical damage. We get like up to 2 velocity every single turn right now. And we get some critical damage. What do we got up here? We don't have the ability to liquidate. That would make me maybe want to take this Scattered Samples. But since we don't have that, is this actually better for us versus the bosses that we're facing? We're facing Giannis, and we're facing... we're facing, what's-its-face? Rinferno, which has the little bomb bits every single turn. So, this could actually possibly be better than Victor's Chits. It's hard for me to believe that, though. We could really use After Image here. I'm going to believe in Victor's Chits. I don't think we want to hit anything here yet. A green augment isn't bad. I think we're going to hit this Sea Breach, though, just to see what's going on. Don't expect anything spectacular out of it. Minus 100 Quillings, gain Quillings at the start of each battle. That is exactly what we want to see. I could maybe see huge cache of Quillings and then lower our Quillings. Like, that's probably not a big deal, but before we're going to hit it before our money pot. Like, I just think this is honestly terrible. Like, it would have to give us a lot. It does, but it's way too early for us to be taking this. This one's definitely better. Also, I'm sure you guys noticed I probably sound, like, miserable. That is because I am. You're getting this video early today because I am sick, but I'll try not to sound too miserable on camera. Like, obviously there's nothing I can do about my voice, but other than that, should be able to... Oh, this is actually pretty good right here. This is very good. Okay, so we're going to hit you with this. We're going to travel to that. We're going to blink back. And then hit you with this. That's pretty good. And I'm honestly just going to avoid this, keep that power orb for next turn. That's how I feel about that. Yeah, I guess Alchemist Tool Belt can actually be liquidated. I don't feel like this is good. We liquidate Alchemist Tool Belt, we get up to 3. We would need another Alchemist in set, but then we also get Starwalker, which would increase the... Well, it would reduce the cooldown of Blink, so that we don't have to, like, get an orb for it. It's a lot of usability. Otherwise, it would be quite swell to... If we had After Image, that would be pretty freaking good. Alright, so what are we doing this turn, now that we're done talking about how cool stuff would be? This isn't bad. Can I get you in on this too? That looks good enough, honestly. Do we want to blink here, actually, and just hit something like this? Yeah, blink seems like it's a better idea. Yep. Go here. We now have a velocity. That's pretty good right there. What is this swivel? On being hit, swivels. Okay. We seem to not care. We want to hit you once. Might as well not waste that. This is going to mean that we don't take damage. Might as well pop you there. Wait, this only applies bleed to the nearest enemy? Well, that's a bit inconvenient. We're still fine. We are still more than fine here. Go ahead, pop you. And then that'll do it. Alright. That was 16, 18, 20. 54. So we gained 54 Quillings after that fight and spent 100 to do so. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Our 50% on Alchemist is really dogging us right now. There's another Alchemist. I honestly think that Counter Assistance is better here, though. Gives us another Reaver, which is more critical damage. Actually primes some crits for us, which again, since, like, precision is our only means of getting crits, that's kind of nice. Kind of removes the need for, what am I trying to say? It removes the need for After Image. We can grab something that actually deals damage. We do need an Alchemist, though. What's in this other box? The third scattered samples provided to us? Holy shit. Like, I'm trying to think of that run. We would get one every single time, so we would be able to, like, turn one burst. That's crazy. I like it. Anyways, this is happening. And so we don't need this. So I think this is actually happening. Reduces cooldown. We can reduce the cooldown of a non-attack binding by 1. Cultivate bit, having a... not really a fan of Cultivate in this setup right now. It is good bossing damage since we have some bleed here. That's kind of like the only place where that exists. Let's re-roll here. There's After Image. After Image, Cleave, both pretty good options here. Honestly, After Image on a 3-turn cooldown, maybe agreeing to reduce its cooldown by 1. Yeah, Starwalker makes that pretty insane. And then we also get access to Blur. Blur isn't necessarily good, though, if we don't have any other defensive layers. And we don't make shielding right now. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. But I think this is our pick. I just said that we don't need it because of counter assistance. But obviously, we'd like to have it. Especially if we ascend it into the Blur 4. Blur 4 is actually, like, disgusting against Argoloth. Pretty much solves our entire issues there. I don't want to buy anything because I don't have room for anything. So... did we really not get offered a Festival Shrine? In a place that doesn't have an NPC? That's awkward. I don't think that we need another one of these. Let's get a green here. Let's get another consumable. That's nice. We'll just use that because reasons. Oh my god, they broke this? Okay, so this quest used to be visit with 10 ability power, which is different. It would technically be equivalent to 100 Omni damage. Apparently, not only is the text wrong, but they just forgot to code it, or it's pulling from the code, and I finally get to complete this. Damn. Hold on, I'm just digesting 1 year's worth of lore here. So they made that one significantly easier, but this one, which is 6 will reserve, is going to be pretty hard because we don't have will fish anymore due to the fish rework to give you like stats for a fight. That one's going to be a bit rough, although technically 2 tokens of regret would do it, which is definitely possible. But 2 tokens of regret would also be pretty suffer as far as like all the other implications are concerned, but whatever, we'll figure it out. Probably shouldn't have opened that. Well, we'll take this fish and carry the mercurial. Deadly Impale adds some damage. Not really. Inflict 4 bleed on far enemies. I could get behind that. I don't think that it's necessary by any means, but I don't know, we could end up in a bleed set. We're almost halfway done with the run. Deadly Impale, though. A reminder that this gets doubled against the first target. So this is actually like plus 20 damage versus bosses and increases its chance to crit. I kind of like that. I also would like to point out it's a little bit rude that I can't do quest completion on those things just because I don't have the character. We don't need a glyph globe. Let's get some more money. We might be able to buy something in the shop that we think is better than something that we have here. I don't think that's the case, but... that's a crit. Okay, where is our Wombo? I think that our Wombo is like right here. Yeah, right here. So this is going to crit. If we get 1 velocity, that's going to increase our crit damage. So then... yeah, I don't know what else to say. That's pretty good. Perhaps what we want to do... maybe we want a spear. Yeah, I'll take that. Do that. Teleport there. Link somewhere around here. And then let's find that again. Let us... you know what? I'll miss the treasure pot just to murder everything else. That's a lot of damage. Okay, give me that. And let's do this. Okay. Alright. God, it'd be nice if light actually existed, though. So... we can destroy all you guys a turn early. We should spend one of our potions. So let's potion. Do this. And everything's dead. Seems good. Okay. It was a mercurial. Look at that. Alright. Is there anything that we want here? Like, I would really like to liquidate some. Thank you. Okay, so we liquidate Alchemist Tool Belt. It's the least useful for us. Just checking to make sure that that's true. It is true. Like, the 50 Omni damage is pretty good, but it's not going to be anything towards the end of the game once we actually start getting potions every single turn. So we can come back here. And we will. Man, that was a huge nerf to that item. Okay. So now that we have the space, what do we want? Ink Needle Compass wouldn't be bad. Doesn't that bring us up a precision tier? It does. That's an additional 5% crit chance. We're more than willing to liquidate it. Otherwise, if we were to get training weights, like that's an additional 15% damage. Like, that's not bad, but it's still not really doing it for me. They're trying to push this like smite thing here simply because whenever we teleport to Celestial Spear, it smites. You're not gonna fucking get me with that shit. I'm sorry. So let's grab the ink needle compass. Let's go to the shop here. I do wish to buy an augment. I can't get that out of my face. Inflict mark on the nearest enemy. That's probably the biggest thing here. That's large. I'll take that. Take a look at this shop for you guys. Cloak of the Conspirator actually isn't bad. There's the Warden for our blur. Inkly map also, like, well, it's kind of good, I guess. It's not actually, like, stupendous. Another scattered set. Like, oh my god, I wish I could run this run. Just have our whole bar be scattered samples. Well, it'd be like, it'd obviously be Chalice, and then like 4 scattered samples. We would liquidate the, well, I mean, at that point, you'd actually keep it. So then we'd have our 6 there, we'd have something. But then you're getting 2 potions every combat, so you just use them. So for like the first 2 turns, you're getting, god, like 4 will and 80 movement just because reasons. Like, that seems pretty disgusting. Oh, that'd be fucking funny. Sorry, my language. Anyways, Cloak of the Conspirator is also, like, pretty good for us. We haven't been taking damage yet. Of course, that's going to change once we go into boss fights, most likely. And that's where we need our crits the most, and that's kind of why I'm a little bit against this. But liquidating this for 10 damage resist isn't a 0 integer. It will always round down to the lowest integer, so having 10 damage resist is basically 1 blur at all times, and then we can stack blur on top of it. Seems pretty good. But we are not buying anything here. So I'm trying to think here about how exactly we handle this, because this is an attack binding now, not a movement binding, so it's not like we can Celestial Spear multiple times in order to build up a ton of velocity. It would probably have to be blink repeatedly, which is a weird way to spend this. But then we would blink repeatedly, have a ton of velocity, and then go ahead open with Whirlwind. Hopefully it crits at the start of combat. Thank you very much. You'll love to see it. Okay. And taking out some of these dummies would be great. Stupid, want to do something like this? We kind of want to be close to that orb, so I think we want to do something a little bit like this. Oh, hold up. And closest enemy gets marked now. So let's toss that there. Ew, wait, now Mercurial's gonna hit. Unless it doesn't? Okay. Teleport me here, mark this man, and now we are playing with portals. Seems pretty good. We could blink one more time for another 50% damage. I actually think that that's a waste. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that. I believe we can get crits on bindings that are on cooldown now. So if we walk out here, actually, should we just, like, hit you with this? Let's just hit you with this. Get some bleed on the man for absolutely no damage. Alright. Now I kind of want to use this. But allow us to play the game. That's looking pretty good. Eliminate all these guys a little bit early. Can I please get you piece? Okay. Like, we're gonna get this, so that's fine. We're gonna phase you. Those things have crit. We're fine with that. Next turn, we're gonna use Mercurial. We're gonna hope that After Image comes off cooldown, or we're just gonna use Mercurial anyways. I don't know. And we might as well, like, stab you. You're marked. And take care of you. Now we only have 2 dummies here. One of them is named Siddles and Bits. Here, I think we're going to take some damage, but that's fine. Give me that. Give me this. Teleport me to that. Blink me up here. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's hit that. And I think we're honestly going to save this Mercurial. There's really no reason for us to use it. So we're going to just stab you one. And we'll do the Wombo combo all over again. Never mind, we don't need to. Alright. And there's our Mercurial pack. We love to see it. An epic augment. What do we got here? Inflict 6 bleed on the nearest enemy, 3 to secondary enemies. Now we're talking. Smiting Spear smites enemies twice. That is... Why is that a purple? That's plus 100%. That should be a blue. Like, maybe it had smite enemies twice before they switched it over to smite? I don't know. Yeah, we're not taking that. Like, obviously... Okay, like, if this is... If that's the case, then this would be 2 additional smites, and that's worth a purple. But I'm not willing to take that to test this here, just to see if this is good. Discounting Blink is great. That's a will a turn. I would obviously prefer an Orb, but I'm not willing to reroll for it. Both of these are looking pretty good here. This basically doubles our damage, but better. Impale normally is like 60, or is it? Why are we dealing... Okay, never mind. They nerfed Impale. That's like really good then. Holy lord. Because of the fact that bleed does not decay. If you are having some sort of a long fight, that's a lot of bleed there. I don't know what the bleed set does, but that like 6 bleeds is a lot. Like, this is better cleave. Cleave does damage though, I can't say that. Yeah, that's pretty good. I wonder if that's exclusive. Couldn't imagine having like 3 of those and just dealing 20 bleed every single time you poke something. Pretty sure that's not good, though. Anyways, well, we're going to take Discounting Blink. We use it every single turn. We might as well get some use out of it. An extra will is a pretty good use. Oh my god, what? We got an Orbital Barrage? What is this? Oh my... What is this? This is our Whirlwind. Reduce cooldown by 1 per enemy hit? Do we have a -1 Will Aug? We can go infinite? What the frick? Stormcaller smites 4 times? That's not bad either, honestly. Like, if we actually would have went into Stormcaller, we could be smiting quite a bit. So that's basically, like, at a baseline, that's plus 200 damage for 4 smites. I believe Whirlwind was only like 70. It's a very good ascension. You lose a little bit of damage and it go... Oh, we lose damage because it goes into magic. So that's a bit awkward. But if you're scaling smite, you're taking... Well, I can't say you're taking magic damage because that doesn't exist anymore. So you're going enchanted. Then Stormcaller seems pretty good. Also Storm King set, obviously. I think we want Endless March here. It's basically... They add 50% damage to us. We do 50% more damage to far enemies? Wait, is that bad? Instead of double damage, we do 50% more. It's not worse because of the increased... Like, the baseline. The baseline got increased, so it's not worse. But Otherwise, let's say that we're doing 250 to the outer edge. This is like just over 300. So it's actually, Endless March makes it so that it's better for average clear. You don't need positioning. But it's also kind of set up, like not ours, but it's set up to where you want to hit things with the outside anyways, and then you don't get that much benefit. And you only need to hit 2 things to reduce its cooldown to 0, so I think Endless March is actually quite garbage now that I'm looking at it. I mean, it's still better than Whirlwind. It's just, I don't think that this skill was written with the actual, like, kit in mind, if that makes sense. Anyways, off to book 2.
Hello there, Needless.
What don't we need? We don't need Ink Needle Compass. Let's keep Moss Spyglass for now. Everything else seems kind of important. Like, scattered samples we could get rid of just to free up some space. I guess that's fine. Moss Spyglass just seems too important. Dun's Head seems too important. Victor's Chits, I think we could actually get rid of at this point. Velocity gives 25 crit damage. Like, that's not actually moving the needle much for us. Like, it is more damage. I'm not saying that it isn't, but we could have something that gives us much more of a multiplier in that slot. And this is the point to where which we have to, like, start freeing up space. So, we're going to do that. So long, scattered samples. It hurts me more than it hurts you, I assure you. I wouldn't mind a rare augment. Do I want that over a heroic vault, though? Any blue vestige? I can just go to a binding empowerment if I want that. Let's get some vestiges. We did just drop ourselves significantly in power. We lost a lot of crit multi. But now we got this honkin' thing, which is not actually so honkin'. If not hit for a turn. Well, don't worry, buddy. That's not going to happen. Thank you. It's really bad. That's actually, like, really terrible. We don't have scattered samples, so hitting Mercurial here isn't going to do anything. Everyone's going to spawn in. We finally have our crit. You are plus damage, not damage resist, so that's actually quite good for us. We want... First off, we need to use one of these, because we will run out of space. That looks good. Let's just use one. Unstable Brew. That's pretty good for pushing a boss, that's for sure. I'll take double damage for a boss. Superior Vaults. Trader's Dagger isn't bad. It's a precision set. I'm willing to liquidate it. You could also keep it. Keeping it would be pretty good. Not upset with that. Over here we got another Star Walker. We can reduce our base cooldowns by -2. Holy lord. Stop. Oh my goodness. I don't know if we are double damage killing enemies, but this is still also a reaver. And I'm willing to liquidate this. Yeah, I'm actually quite happy with that. Never mind, we're going to liquidate Bounty Hunter's pistol immediately. If we can get prepared on it so that it's free, that would be like the next best thing. I shouldn't have opened that. We could have done this fight, then came back for that. We're also getting one every turn anyways. It's really kind of scuffed. Choose a vestige to destroy. This guy. Oh, baby. That was great for us. I will take a rare because we're trying to make things free. Okay. That kind of seems like a waste. That does not seem like a waste. Then just get me out of here. You're gonna poison yourself? In Minecraft? This is some suffer. Can I get you in on this? Yes, I can. We might as well blink. Pick this up just because we can. Okay. And then we just honestly have to use a potion. This one's probably the least useful to us. We got a Mercurial back. Oh, baby. 2 stacks of blur, 2 critical charge, and 15 movement. Oh, man, that's so good. I'm a huge fan of that. Rare augments. Really don't care about this. Smite far enemies. That's plus 100% damage at the moment. It's something. Shielding Blink actually sounds like it's probably the best thing for us. What do we got coming up? -1 base cooled. That could be pretty funny. I don't think that that's right. Oh my good lord, that's so hilarious. I'm thinking I'd be willing to take a glyph node, but I don't know that it exists, so it's very dangerous for me to actually like reroll here. So I'm trying to determine which is going to deal the least amount of collateral damage. Like technically Vicious Impale is better single target damage, but we really don't care about our single target damage right now apparently. It just sort of happens for free, and Vicious Whirlwind would be a great way to accidentally deal single target damage. I guess just for the memes we could take Quickened Image. Really wish we could have gotten prepared though. We really don't, like, this should not be necessary. With 31% crit chance, plus crit chance, plus crit chance, if we really need to use, like, 3 crit charges, something's gone terribly wrong. I think this is Shielding Blink. We don't want to liquidate anything that we currently have. I actually am a fan of the Trader's Dagger right now. It's not going to carry us over into a precision tier. It will give us Venomous, which is, at that point, it won't care because we won't have a source of poison. I don't think that that's correct. I could see us going to a Carver's Refuge, though, and buying something. We have not seen the treasure pot this book. All-Will's Bard. Okay. Paradigm Shift, like, we have low cooldowns. I just still don't feel good about that. It's a me issue. I know. Like, All-Will's Bard would actually make it so that we could liquidate Trader's Dagger if we get the opportunity to. And then we have full precision, which then means that we get pretty much free CDR on anything that crits. I don't know if that's actually good on this build, but it's an additional crit chance and crit damage at least. We don't have to worry about Mercurial's not hitting things that we don't want it to. We could also take Alchemist Tool Belt, liquidate that to get on combat and gain 2 potions. I don't think that's unnecessary. We're saving this for like a boss, possibly this upcoming boss, and then we're perfectly fine using stuff like Mercurials and stuff like that. I think that it's All-Will's Bard just to gain an additional will every turn. I think I'm fine with that, yeah. Liquidate this, get full precision. Yeah, that seems pretty good. There was not glyphs up here, so it was good that we didn't do that. I do still want rare augments. Getting prepared on phasing would still be huge. Oh! You trying to hide from me? Razor Shade. And you're all the way over there. Of course you are. Okay. Can I hit you? Yes. Yes, we can. Okay, so I think I got this. Okay. Send me back. I want to make sure that we hit the treasure pot with the mark. Let's make sure that we crit. Telling me how? It was literally in this man. Whatever. Yeah, that's pretty good. I would say that that is a 10 out of 10. Would absolutely demolish my enemies again. This is free. I'll use it. That's a power orb for next turn. The rest of the enemies are going to spawn in. Wait, is that true? No, they should be 4. No, that's all the enemies. And they immediately die. We have to use something here. So we'll use that. Flask of Serendipity is also pretty good for pushing a boss. Uncommon Augment. Reduce the cooldown of your highest cooldown. Reduces the cooldown of another random binding by 2. We honestly really don't care about that anymore. Oh, this isn't my blue. I was like, that is the stupidest blue I've ever seen. Okay. Blurring Image sounds great. That could be our solution to Argoloth. Escalating Whirlwind doesn't really make much sense to us because we don't have a lot of will after we use Whirlwind, and it's not really working properly to where we can use it multiple times. Deflecting Impale, we could get 1 shield, maybe 2 versus Argoloth. That should not be a blue. I'm sorry. That's my opinion on it. This seems bad. This seems terrible. This seems like the only good thing here. We can't afford to reroll. So, guess we're getting Blur. And this here, I guess reducing the cooldown of our highest cooldown binding is something. Like, we don't have high cooldowns. But we are using this every turn. I would really prefer this to be an orb because that's like 5 times better than this. Honestly, just give me Deadly Spear. Make this deal some damage. Vesticle Shrine. We did want to liquidate this. Do we want that more than another chance at making this free? I'm going to say yes. I will say yes. Get rid of this, thank you. What do you got? I think I'm willing to bite. Yeah. Am I willing to re-roll? Maybe. You know what? I think I am. Inkrito? Sea Trickle. Daze. Like, that's pretty good, but not good enough to get me to bite. I don't think that we want a random green right now. Just send us in. Hey there, buddy. Intriguing. Okay, game. I understand. Then I might as well... about that. I don't think we need to... Like, we should use a potion. I guess this is our worst potion. Another unstable brew? Oh my god. Is that times 6 damage or times 9 damage? It's the same source, so I would think that it would be times 6. Be crazy to find out, though. Okay, instead of prepared literally being free seems nice. Inflict shatter to all near enemies. Not so much, but that is plus 40 damage. That is plus 40 damage. This, though, makes it so that every orb that we pick up, we basically get to use phasing image for free. That solves our defense, gives us a ton of movement. I think that this is very cute with Starwalker 4. What the frick is this? This is our Impale. Deal 105 damage, double to nearest enemy. Same. Inflict 1 stack of bleed to nearest enemy. Enemies hit take 40 more damage from Smite until the end of the turn. Don't care. Gain critical charge at the beginning of each turn and gain plus 200% critical damage on the first time used each turn. I mean, we do use a Divine Strike each turn, so like that seems pretty good. It also means that this won't have crit when we roll, or it will have crit when we roll Mirror Image or Blurring Image, whatever it's called. And so then our other two skills absolutely get it. This seems good. I'm willing to take that. And let's just keep going. Alright. That grinder might become useful later. Otherwise, as of right now, we kind of want everything that we have. Oh. Now don't frickin' do this to me again. You have to be the closest person, right? Thank you. Seems good. Alright. And I know that I'm supposed to use a potion, but I don't see how anything could be better than having 2 unstable brews for Argoloth. There will be a point where they don't have tentacles. Actually, I guess Mercurial wouldn't be too bad, but I've already mentally gone past that point. So yeah, it's just a potion of power. That, however, would probably multiply here for times 6 damage. These are terrible. All Will's Bard is cute, but there's no real reason for us to liquidate that except for maybe Will Collector to gain some each, like every other turn or something like that. Being immune to Rooted or Ensnared doesn't really do much for us. These are both pretty garbo, honestly. We can go all the way down to 500. So I think I'm willing to reroll here. These are still bad. Teeth on a String? Or Hold Up? Hold Up. There we go. We have Mythos 3. If we can get a Mythos out of here. Last reroll. I'll tell you what, Baylor's Tongue obviously looks like the best thing here. I think we can get rid of this Moss Spyglass. We don't necessarily need it. Reaver 6 doesn't really do much for us, but what, 100% crit damage? That's pretty good. I don't know of any, like, I guess we don't need counter assistance anymore. We could keep Moss Spyglass. Just the chances of us actually using Moss Spyglass, like the tentacle on the opposite end of the field, we're probably not getting to. So that's kind of what I'm looking at there. Yeah, I think this is obviously Baylor's Tongue. And the only thing that's really not doing anything for us is Moss Spyglass. So, we'll grind it. Like, if we had two things that weren't doing anything, then yeah, counter assistance would definitely be next. Alright. Oh, let's not forget our epic enchantment here. Inflict shock on the nearest enemy. Gain 1 stack of blur. Okay, we literally don't take damage anymore. Alright. Alright, game. And here we had Mythos. We'll get it someday, I think. That was a pretty good shot. Like, with the amount of blur that we've gotten up to this point, Trickster's Hook would have been going absolutely off. Assuming, of course, that we don't just kill all the tentacles immediately anyways. Which could happen. Anyways, let's finish this guy up. Yeah, definitely not a fan of getting the extra 2 fights. Like, it definitely makes getting sets good, but I don't think that it's good for, like, the length of a daily. Like, these used to be able to, like, I don't know how to put it, like, the short ones, or the long ones, I should say, were 1 hour. Now we're using, like, so much freaking time. And I suppose I could, like, not over-explain stuff, but you guys know me, that's not gonna happen. Let's get blurry. We might as well hit you guys. Link us back into position. Get a bit unstable. And then get me as close over to here as possible. Can I get away with using this? Probably not, actually. So we're just going to stand here. We don't want to do any extra damage to these guys because we want them to have full health. Alright. Unstable brew. I'm actually almost killing you guys outright. Oh no. That was pretty strong. Where did I lose 1,000 points? I thought it was 55, 70, 50 was the maximum score. Did I not perfect a fight? Like, that would be it. But if I didn't perfect a fight, I don't know, I have to believe that this is correct. Because if I didn't perfect a fight that actually gives us a perfect fight bonus, then we wouldn't have 75. Because I would have had to have taken like a frick ton of health in order to make it be like negative 100, but it's still 75 here, so I don't know, that's a little weird. Everything else is maxed. Anyways, hopefully you found the run entertaining, or at least educational. I'm missing 600 points? Where? Okay. Oh, hold up. No, we hit fight 1. We used a potion for it. I don't know where I lost these points. $600 points. Did they actually make it so that Eager Foes puts the turn penalty a turn sooner? Like, I could see that. That's not what it was like last season. I believe that we could have used potions in order to handle that, so that would really upset me if they actually changed that. Anyways. Yeah, that's the only place where I could see. Oh, wait, but no, like the turn penalty was halved, so that would have to be like 4 extra turns that we took. I don't know where these 600 points were. Anyways, if you have any feedback whatsoever, be it questions, comments, concerns, misplay alerts, be sure to put those down in the comments below. And until next time, I will catch you guys around.